Wow.
Ma'am, you know what? Don't be rude. She
No,
gets to speak. Yes, you were.
I'm not trying to
You,
be
you,
rude,
you just
Judge.
be quiet.
Okay.
This isn't first grade. You're an adult. We're here.
Mhm.
Oh, yes, she didn't come to court.
No, she didn't.
Now, explain that one away if you can. Yeah, yeah. Don't interrupt me when I speak. Stop. You want to interrupt me again, ma'am? Ma'am,
Okay.
ma'am, is this that hard? You're in timeout. We're going to treat you like the child you're acting like. You're in timeout. I'll deal with this next week.
Today, we've got an entitled brat who, for some reason, hasn't grown up one bit. She hasn't taken accountability a single day in her life, and the courtroom is finding that out in real time. From the second she opens her mouth, she's rude, disrespectful, and acting like the rules don't apply to her. She thinks she's the victim, but everyone else is watching her dig her own grave, one excuse at a time. It's one of those cases where you already know the hammer is dropping, it's just a matter of how hard. Do you think she'll finally learn, or keep playing the poor me act all the way to jail? Let's go ahead and dive in.
And Mr. Grove is here, your attorney, right? That's the man,
David Grove,
Representative
yes.
David Grove. As you understand, there is a second amended motion to revoke unadjudicated probation motion filed January of this year. So we've gone through about a half a year
Mhm.
and we need to move forward one way or the other. What are we going to do on this, David?
Miss Stout has some problems.
Stout. Sylvester.
Excuse me, Miss Sylvester. I apologize to
That's
Miss
fine.
Sylvester. Miss Stout also, but she had some problems. I've spoken to her on more than one occasion. These started, I believe, in early January, February, something like that. Miss Sylvester denied that she pled pled guilty before the court on the original case here. Uh, Basically, as we went through the motion to revoke probation, she denied committing any of them and wanted to talk to the court about whether she committed any of these offenses because she didn't think that she should be here. She has not violated her probation, I guess is what I think she is
Correct.
stating.
Correct. I have not violated it. I have made every.
No, you've never been on.
And here is where the reality check hits. Britney is trying to tell the judge she's never been in trouble while standing in court for violating the probation she's been on since 2022. You can hear the judge's confusion. He's literally holding the paperwork that says otherwise. This isn't just a misunderstanding. It's a total denial of the legal reality she's currently living in.
Probation? Or
I've
you
been
are
on probation now since 2022
Right.
of December.
Yeah, that's not what you just said, David.
I've never been in any trouble or anything like that.
No, here's what's been alleged is you failed to report to the probation office in June of 23, August of 23, and September of 23.
Mhm.
You failed to work faithfully at suitable employment and provide verification of such. That's what it alleges. I know what happens with a lot of folks. As long as you're trying hard to get employment, that's what's important to me. You failed to provide verification of performing community service hours as required, and that's important because that's community service and that's a necessary concept of probation. You failed to provide verification of entering and successfully completing an anger management program as directed by the probation office. That's important when there are certain cases like assaults. Everybody has to go through that. It's a short program, but it's very good and helpful. Then there's failing to pay court assessed fees as directed. This says you were $734 in arrears in court fees as of January, but some people can't pay. And if you can't pay, you don't go to jail on my watch.
Well,
And hold on, one more.
ability.
And this says you failed to report to the probation office on or about September 14th, 2024 for a judicial review.
The statement moved to amend that date to September 13th, Judge.
I was not aware that I needed to go back to the probation office based on what I was told over the.
Okay, wait, hold on.
Over the.
That's for me to decide and a
Okay.
hearing. I mean, you're going to plead untrue to it is what we're saying, what you're saying. I'm not going to change it. It says on or about September 14th.
All right.
It's good enough for me.
What I
Okay.
would like to add is that I've made every effort, to keep the check-in dates, with my probation
Okay, that's
officer, excuse me, several times. I, then was
Hold on.
rescheduled.
Hold on. Here's what we're going to do. If you're pleading untrue to all of these, then we have a hearing in front of me. That's me to decide. I get to hear both sides, and then I make the decision. That's the way it works.
So here's the thing, when you get placed on probation, you're basically handed a golden ticket. The court is saying, hey, we'll give you a break, but prove you're not going to be a problem anymore. That doesn't mean you get to float through life like nothing happened. You're supposed to follow the laws, attend your meetings, do your classes, and basically prove you're capable of functioning like a grown adult. Probation is literally a second chance, not a vacation. And part of that deal is completing your probation conditions, anger management, drug testing, community service, job search, whatever the
Did she really just ask to be reinstated after doing 0 of her requirements? The judge called probation a golden ticket, and Britney seems to think that ticket has unlimited rides. She's trying to skip the consequences by bringing up her child and her career, but in a courtroom, excuses don't count as community service hours. The judge's patience is officially on a timer.
judge ordered. But this defendant, she hasn't done a single thing, not one. It's like she saw the list of requirements and decided to ignore every line. I don't know if she thought these were optional suggestions, or if she just flat out doesn't care. Every time she opens her mouth, she's arguing, blaming, and acting like everyone else is the problem. It's wild how someone can be a full-grown adult and still behave like accountability is a foreign concept. At this point, she's not proving she deserves another chance. She's proving exactly why probation keeps failing.
Well, what I would like is for the probation to be reinstated.
Okay, I understand what you like. I'll listen to that at the end of the hearing.
Okay, so that's not something that can be done today.
We can do the hearing today if you want. These are all
That's
what I just told you.
That is what I would
You need
like
to prepare for this?
to
I
be
think that
reinstated. That way I can be on my way because I've got a special needs child to take care of. I've got a family.
Who's
And
taking
I've
care of the
got
child now?
a gospel singing career as well.
Who's taking care of the child now?
Me.
No, but when you're in jail, I mean, the child's not with you. Who's taking care of the child when you're stuck?
Well, my child is in a safety place. He's in a safe place, so I can't.
A family?
Yes, he's with a close family member.
All right.
So he is safe.
Well, it needs
He's
money.
with me. However, yes,
Is that what you're trying to say?
that is what I'm saying.
All right, what do we want to do today?
Judge, I believe that what Ms. Sylvester wanted to do today was to have these addressed by the court.
Well, we have to go through a hearing and enter pleas.
Well, yes, sir.
Is that
Yes,
what
sir.
we're
And
gonna
I
do?
think that's what the court
Is that what we're gonna do?
Hearing.
Yes, sir.
All right,
It's a
raise your
hearing, I
right
believe.
hand, man. Raise your
I'm
right
sorry.
hand.
Okay.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm any statements you may make during this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
Yes.
All right, lower your hand. Does the defendant waive a formal reading of the second amended motion to revoke unadjudicated probation? Can we proceed in a summary fashion to move this along?
Yes, Your Honor.
In summary, ma'am, this states that on December 19th, 2022, in this court, I placed you on deferred or unadjudicated probation for 10 years for the third-degree felony of assault on a public servant. Is all of that true? Is all of that
Could
true?
you read me the date again? You said
December
2019?
19th, 2022. You were placed on 10 years deferred or unadjudicated probation.
Well, correct.
Is that correct? All right, that's what it shows in all this file.
Correct.
Allegation number 1 states you failed to report to the Jefferson County Probation Office on or about June 18th, 2023, August 14th, 2023. Now we're going back 2 years. September 6th, 23, in violation of your probation order. Is that true or untrue?
That is untrue.
Okay, that's all you need to say. We're going to hear both sides on that. This states number 2, you failed to work faithfully at suitable employment and provide verification of that in violation of your probation order. Is that true or untrue?
That is untrue.
Okay,
I
that's
did-
all. No, you're going to get to explain that. We just need to figure out what's true, what's not first. 3, you failed to provide verification of performing community service hours as required of your probation order. Is that true or untrue?
That is untrue.
Four.
That one is true because so yes,
Okay, you'll be able to explain all of that later.
that one is a
4,
yes.
you failed to provide verification of entering and successfully completing the anger management program as directed by the probation office. Is that true or untrue?
I did not provide verification of entering it, but I did show up to class.
It's
a
no.
yes and no on that one because
It's entering
typically,
and successfully
Okay,
completing.
then
It's
no.
conjunctive. You have to do both parts.
then no.
All right. I'm not going to go on this. You're paying as much as you can pay toward all of these costs and everything, aren't
I'm
you?
paying the count 5, Judge.
Yeah, I don't even want to go into the money. 6, you failed to report to the probation office on or about September 14th, 2024 for a judicial review. Is that true or untrue?
Untrue
All right,
because I wasn't
that's all we
given
need.
the information.
Yep, that's all we need to know. Okay, go ahead, state.
I would
You're ready to
call-
proceed today, right?
I'm ready,
everybody?
Judge.
All right. No objections. Go ahead, state.
I would call Dominique Mayfield.
Raise your right hand, ma'am. Do you solemnly swear or affirm any statement you make during this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you. Lower your hand. Go.
State your name for the record.
Dominique Mayfield.
And what do you do for a living, ma'am?
I'm a probation officer here in Jefferson County.
How long have you worked for Jefferson County?
About a year and a half now.
And in that capacity, did you come to know Britney Sylvester?
Yes.
When was she, in what capacity? Was she placed on your caseload?
Yes.
When was that?
February 14th of 2024.
Okay. So prior to that date, do you have access to her file as far as who she was assigned to before that?
Yes.
And that's a part of the records that you get whenever you inherit.
Enter the probation officer. This is the moment where he said, she said ends and the file begins. Dominique Mayfield is about to dismantle every single lie Britney just told. From missing meetings for over a year to doing 0 hours of community service in 30 months, the evidence is overwhelming. Watch Britney's face. She's realizing that her charm isn't working on a professional who keeps receipts.
The caseload, is that right?
Yes.
So who was the prior officer before February 14th, 2024?
Please, ma'am.
It was Helena Villiers. She was
683.
6 different alleged probation violations? 6? She's collecting them like loyalty reward points. What blows my mind is how she still stands there and pleads not true to half of them. Like this is some big misunderstanding. Some of these violations are as simple as, did you show up to your probation meeting? That's literally a yes or a no. I'm pretty confident the probation officer isn't waking up in the morning thinking, let me invent a fake violation today for fun. So that not true defense is already falling apart. And the judge is trying patiently to get her to answer basic yes or no questions, but no, she wants to turn every answer into a speech about how everyone else is wrong. You can see the judge losing microscopic levels of patience every time she can't shut her mouth. I swear for a moment I thought he was about to snap. Do you think she's actually telling the truth, or is she just allergic to responsibility? And the best part is, she keeps trying to argue her side after being told repeatedly to stop talking. At that point, it's not confusion, it's attitude.
All right, so let's start with, do you see Miss Britney Sylvester in the courtroom?
Yes.
And you go ahead and just identify for me what she's wearing so we can get that clear for the record.
Yeah, she's wearing a blue jumpsuit.
And may the record reflect she's identified Miss Sylvester.
Yes, it would.
And is it true that she was placed on probation back on December 19th of 2022 for assault on a public servant?
Yes.
And all my questions are going to be about that, okay?
Mhm.
Let's work backwards. I want to start with the judicial review. When was that scheduled that's alleged in count 6? When was that?
Originally, it was supposed to be back in May of 24, I want to say.
Okay.
And then afterwards, it kept being reset. So once we got that updated information, we relayed that information to her and to the last known phone number that we had on file. And when we came to court, she did not show.
All right. Was that on or about September 14th of 2024?
Yes.
That judicial review?
Yes.
So what were we trying to take care of with these reviews that were scheduled and rescheduled? What were we dealing with as far as this lady is concerned?
Originally from counts 1 through 5, well, 1 through 4,
Yes, sir.
she was given time to get started on community service, find employment, and do all the conditions of her probation. And then after that, we were going to come back to see her progress.
All right, so I'm looking at a memorandum that's dated in July of 2024, and it says that on February 14th that she was placed on the mental health initiative caseload.
Yes.
Is that true?
Yes.
Is that your caseload?
Yes.
That sounds like the date you told me that you've been her officer.
Yes.
So prior to that date, your access to her, but you've been dealing with her specifically from that time frame. Has she reported to you anywhere in there?
Yes.
When?
Her last office date report was May the 28th of 2024.
Year ago? Over a year ago?
And at that
Is
date,
that right, everybody?
yes, sir.
Over a year ago?
So the judge typically wants to know if someone's at absconder status. Is that what her status was?
She became an absconder in it was August the 30th of 2024.
So I know and you know, but let's make the record clear. So that means from May 28th up until August 30th, she didn't report at any point in time in there, did she?
No.
Did she give you, did you have any contact with her to indicate why? But other than her just missing scheduled timeframes, did she tell you why?
Yes, after a while, she would fail to report and then she'll call and get the appointment rescheduled. And then on a rescheduled date, she didn't show.
And all those communications were directly with you, right?
Yes.
All a part of that mental health initiative caseload.
Yes.
In that time frame, did she work at work at employment, trying to maintain employment?
Not to my knowledge.
And she would have been reporting that to you as conditions if that was true, right?
Yes.
What about her attempting to do community service hours?
She received 2 different forms. One was for the nutrition center, but she was unable to complete community service there. So I had her sign a new one to come to the courthouse and complete community service. And I gave her a copy of it. I have a copy right here where she signed it. And still no community service or anything was completed.
So what we're looking at that you just handed me is a form that's got her signature and it's dated April 4th of 24.
Yes.
And that's you giving her information about where she can go. It's actually entitled the CSR referral form, right?
Yes.
What does CSR stand for?
Community service restitution.
In this manner where you tell individuals about where they can go and get their stuff done, is that normally what we do there at the department?
Yes.
And to your knowledge, after giving
It just keeps getting weirder. Now she's claiming she was a prophet and selling no-tuna meals as a catering business. In the eyes of the court, if it isn't verified by your officer, it didn't happen. You can't just supervise yourself and call it a job. The judge is trying to explain that probation is about supervision, not a choose-your-own-adventure lifestyle, but she is still not listening.
this information, did she go on to do any of that?
No.
Do you have any records indicating that she's completed any community service since she's been on this probation?
No, she hasn't completed anything.
Not one hour?
No, sir.
2.5 years? In 2.5 years, not 1 hour?
Tender, State's Exhibit 2, the purported CSR referral form from April 4th of 2024.
I was denied when I showed up to the nutrition center. Oh, okay. Okay.
Wait on that.
Because I did show up and
Then
everything.
Mr. Ham.
Do you have any objections?
I have no objections to this time with cross-examination.
All right, so just
So
to be clear,
there were no objections. What is that?
State's Exhibit 2, it's the CSR referral form. And to be clear, this is her signature at the bottom with the date, correct?
Yes.
State's Exhibit 2 is tendered into evidence without objection.
That's correct.
All right,
It's
so
admitted. Go ahead.
Then the probation officer starts testifying and it becomes a whole comedy routine, but not in her favor. Everything the defendant denied, the probation officer calmly destroyed with actual evidence. Did she complete classes? No. Did she attend meetings? Nope. Did she make any effort at all? Absolutely not. In 2.5 years, she didn't even complete a single hour of community service. Do you know how hard you have to try to literally do nothing for 2.5 years? Even accidentally, you could have done 1 hour. The judge even leaned in and asked the officer to repeat it just to make sure he heard correctly. And still, the defendant is sitting there acting like everyone is lying on her. Why would the probation officer lie? What does she gain from fabricating violations? This officer gave her multiple chances, reminders, warnings, leniency, and she still ignored every chance. At this point, it's not the system failing her, she's failing herself.
What, if anything, did she do towards the anger management program?
Originally we sent people through family services, but because she was not working, we have another option, which is through Faith Tabernacle. They do the 12 sessions, it's free of charge. And if they do not have transportation, they also provide it.
Did she go?
No.
So as far as your time frame working with her, you gave her a free option and she didn't exercise it.
This is allegation number 3.
That's allegation number 4. She's pled true to allegation 3, which I supported with State's Exhibit 2.
And then this is 4 is the anger management program.
Yes, sir.
Through what entity?
What was the entity?
Faith Tabernacle. It's in Port Arthur.
Okay.
So the dates that are alleged in count 1 about her non-reporting, we've already covered. She hasn't reported to you since May 28th of 2024. What do your records indicate about her reporting to Jefferson County on June 18th, August 14th, and September 6th of 2023? Those predate your time, man. What does it show?
At that time, she was assigned to Miss Valier, and I want to say she did not report on those days, and then later on she was arrested, and Miss Valier met with her in the county jail. Then afterwards, that's when she was placed with me.
All right. So the non-reporting that we deal with in count 1, the department addressed that it was true by giving her a chance to work with you in your program.
Correct.
So now that you're here and having a chance to visit with the judge, in your opinion, has she done well trying to adjust to this caseload that you're assigned?
Yes, she would, like I stated, she would call and ask to reschedule, but those dates that she would be rescheduled for, she didn't attend.
Wow.
So out of the times,
Ma'am, you know what? Don't be rude. She
No,
gets to
please.
speak. Yes, you were.
I'm not trying to.
You just be quiet. You
Okay,
get a
I
chance
am.
to, just don't make comments when the lady is speaking. Please, thank you. And we won't interrupt you and be rude.
Okay, thank you. I didn't mean
If
to.
rude was
I
a condition of
apologize.
probation, you'd be revoked for that.
I pass the witness, Judge.
Go ahead.
Now, basically, let's go back to 2023. It sounds like she didn't report back at that time. I mean, before you were actually there, but that's what the records would indicate.
Yes.
Is that right? And this wasn't dealing with you, it's dealing with your predecessor. But she didn't report back then, right?
Correct.
All right. And what efforts were made to help her get some assistance in being able to report, I guess?
At that time, when I was working with her, she did inform me that she was homeless. As far as that, on my end, I try to give resources of different places that you can go if it need be for like clothing, food, and different things like that. I do give out resources. But that's all I'm able to do.
Well, you said that she wasn't trying to work during the time when you first, the earlier part of the time you were employed at probation. Was she employed during that time, as far as you know?
No.
Did she work as a preacher?
She did tell me she was a prophet, but as far as like showing any verification of anything, I've never received it.
Yeah. But she told you she was working as a preacher. Is that basically what she said? Is that how you?
Yeah, that's just fair.
Okay.
And everything needs to be verified. Everything needs to be verified for every probationer.
I hate, if I may, I want to interrupt counsel for just 1 second. My notes do indicate that the court held a hearing as to that count one back on December 18th of 2023. And after a plea of true, that's when she was kept on probation and moved to the mental health caseload. So I know she's entered a plea of not true today to that same deal, but I think that's been disposed of by the movement to the mental health caseload. Your file may reflect that. If it does,
All right.
then,
It does. She entered a plea of truth to allegation one back on,
I did
well,
not.
hold on, 12/18/23.
so perhaps we should focus on counts 2, 4.
It's already been found true. Go ahead, go to the next one.
Well, did not represent Miss.
I know you didn't.
Back at that
Go to the
time,
next
so I'm a little bit behind as far as that
Okay.
goes. But
That I was working at Wendy's while I was on
Okay.
probation in 2023.
let me ask you that question, and you answer the question, okay?
Okay.
All right, now then, let's wait until it's time for you to discuss it,
Okay.
so we could go ahead and ask.
Go ahead.
As the present witness. Judge, I'll do this however you want me to. I just.
Move forward. Just move
All right.
forward.
Well,
Logging down.
Miss Sylvester, were you working back at that time in 2023?
In 2023, I was working at Wendy's as well as I was working at Steak and Shake. So I had two jobs at one time. And my probation officer at that time was Mr. Moody, who did come inside of Wendy's and witness me physically working there. And he just happened to come by, is what he said. He wanted to see if I was working, and that is what happened. Unfortunately, I only had that job for a few months due to me being harassed by one of the management there that was trying to force me into prostitution. So it was no longer safe for me to keep that actual job. However, I did make other efforts to find suitable work, but while I was looking for other jobs such as at Subway, that was another place that I was looking for work at. I was catering is what I was doing. So I would go out with my non-tuna meals and try to sell those for,
Did you know
for
that?
lunch. No.
It doesn't do any good if the probation office is not aware of that.
Was this before?
You can't do it you're not on your own probation. You're supervised. We can't supervise you if you're doing things out there that you're not telling the people what you're doing. You don't get credit for it. You can talk all day long about it. I'm not going to give you credit unless they know, and they supervise you. You don't supervise yourself on probation. They supervise you. And there's no supervision when you're doing things on your own and not telling them. You don't get credit for it. You're going to waste your time. And you don't get credit. David, go to the next one. She sounds like she's trying to work. Go ahead.
Oh, well, can I just make one quick point and move on? Was this before Ms. Mayfield started working there and supervising you, that you went out, we're talking about trying to get these jobs and selling your non-tuna meals? Was that before she was there, or is that after she had come to work for probation?
I don't know if she were physically working there, but that was prior to her becoming my probation person that I was supposed to check in with.
Who was your probation? Who was the officer?
Officer that I was supposed to be checking in with. Prior to her was Miss Valier. And so she was also aware that I had been working. However, I was doing catering, and I did let her know that I was doing my non-tuna meals that I was going out to sell. And also I told her that I was still looking for other means of work. However, that was what I was doing, as well as being a pastor. And there are several voicemails that I left on the voicemail, keeping them updated about things that I was doing. And also when I
Move on to some
rescheduled.
level. I'm not upset with the employment.
Anyone can claim they have a job, just saying the words doesn't make it real. I could tell you I'm a pilot, a surgeon, and the mayor all at the same time. Without proof, it means nothing. This defendant really expected the court to just take her word and move on. The wildest part, she didn't even tell her probation officer she supposedly had a job. Not a single voicemail, email, pay stub, nothing. If she truly had a job, that would have been the first thing she would want documented. But instead, she's rude, interrupting, making noises, and rolling her eyes while the probation officer talks. That's not someone who's working and taking life seriously. That's someone who has no idea how probation works. She honestly seems more invested in arguing than improving. It feels like she thinks if she just talks loudly enough, she'll rewrite reality. Spoiler, that's not how the justice system works.
Go ahead.
Okay, well, you tried to get employment then back at that time.
Marva Carthon was your probation officer?
Who?
Marva Carthon?
Miss Value.
Miss Hawthorne, but there is somebody there, last name of with the last name Valier. There's somebody there with that last name as well. I think I had at least 3 different probation officers that I am aware of.
Okay.
Miss Mayfield is the third one. I wasn't given any notice. I just figured maybe people quit. So I may have misspoke as far as the name.
What about
However, Miss Hart
anger management
Hawthorne
program?
is one of the people that was
Focus-
a probation officer.
focus on me.
of mine.
Focus on me.
Anger
management.
management. Did you go to the anger management program?
I went and they didn't show up.
Who did
Nobody
you-
showed up for the class that I was signed up for at Family Services. It was in 2023. I spoke with Crystal, who was the attendant working at Family Services at one of their off-site campuses where they do offer anger management. I asked her what was going on as far as why no one showed up. She said she didn't know. She was going to call them and find out why they didn't show up to the actual
All right,
class. But
let me ask you
I
that.
was already signed up for
Anger
the anger
management.
management course.
All right.
The hammer is finally dropping. The judge is calling out the first-grade behavior and the absolute disaster of her representing herself. In the legal world, there's a famous saying, "A man who represents himself has a fool for a client." Britney has 4 degrees, but none of them are helping her now. She's about to find out that being a prophet won't predict a way out of a jail cell when you ignore the law for 2 years.
And I
Stop.
did show up.
Stop. Anger management program. What does that consist of exactly? I order it in every case almost, but I've never been to see what it's like. Is it a time program or is it a one thing?
It's well, if you're doing it through Family Services, it's sessions, and you have to pay per session. Then you have the option to do it through Court Solutions online, and it's a 12-hour course. It's self-paced. You pay a one-time fee, and then once you complete it, you print off the certificate and they bring it in.
Okay. How many times do the probationers have to go to a class?
For anger management, they're going in person. It is once a week.
For how long?
12 weeks.
12 weeks. 12 weeks. 12 times. You got to go 12 times.
And they normally
Did you do that?
So
No.
I
Not even
showed up
close.
once, and they were supposed to update me about when they were going to
ma'am,
come back.
Let me just tell you this. You have everything to lose. We have 5,000 probationers. You've got to do your part you had an obligation, you sign it. This is what I plan to do. This is my promises I make. And you can't rely on them. You've got to do your own heavy lifting and figure it out. And don't blame it on nobody told me. You've got to take a positive effort.
Right.
It's your life. It's your freedom.
Right. So that's
We
where
got 5,000 probationers we're working with. But we can't be, this isn't first grade. You're an adult. You've got to do some of the heavy lifting on your own. You have an order of this court that you have to perform. You can't blame it on the fact that nobody told you how to do it. You've got to go seek it out.
right.
Okay.
So that's
Then what's this?
to do.
Family to report September 14th, 2024 for a judicial review.
that was for here.
For here.
Mhm.
Oh, yes, she didn't come to court.
No, she didn't.
Now, explain that one away. If you can.
I I wasn't aware that I was supposed to be in court.
Yes, you were.
Because I was told last year when I spoke to Judge Stevens Court that my charges were already dropped. They looked in.
Nobody said that.
Into my name, and that is what I was told.
Nobody said that
They
with my
pulled up
court.
the
They
call
don't,
number.
they don't do that. That's not
Yeah.
what they do.
Well, they are paid to give me the information since I was representing myself at that time as pro se. And so they were giving me.
You know what they say about people who
the
represent
information
themselves? You
that
know
I
what they
was
say
asking
about
for.
you're a smart lady. You know what they say about people who represent themselves who aren't lawyers? You have a fool for a client. That's an old saying from way back. That's a foolish choice. You're not competent to do this. You didn't go to law school. Not that you're not capable, you probably are. But you don't have the qualifications, the experience, the training. It takes more than just wanting to do it. It'd be like me doing hair coloring. I wouldn't know what to do. I'd have to learn it. I mean, I don't know. But this, I have 4 degrees, and that's what it takes to be a lawyer. You think I just dreamed that up one day and then I can start representing myself? I can, but there's that old saying, if you want to represent yourself, you have a fool for a client. Because it takes, especially if you're not trained in it and you don't have the law degree and you don't have the bar license, all of that is important to handling other people's lives, including yourself. This is freedom. This is part of the Constitution. You don't want to lose that because you think you can handle something. Brain surgery. Do you do much of that? No. And I'm not being facetious about it, but I'm not being facetious. It takes years of training. Yeah. Don't interrupt me when I speak. Stop. It takes years.
Do you
want to interrupt me again, ma'am? Ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, is this that hard? When I speak, everybody's got to stop. That's kind of the rule because she can't take 2 people speaking over each other. Okay? And next time it happens, you're in contempt of court, which means you go to jail for a longer period of time. You've been warned. You want to speak over me again?
What you want to do is what you kind of.
Ma'am?
Don't talk.
Ma'am?
Listen for it.
Ma'am?
Let me finish this.
Ma'am,
Okay.
you're in timeout. We're going to treat you like the child you're acting like. You're in timeout. I'll deal with this next week. Okay? I'll deal with this next week. I've had enough of your rudeness and you're speaking over everybody. Just like that. You're going to go to jail. I'll deal with this next week.
Okay.
Bye.
This is my first time
That's
ever being.
No, it's not, ma'am.
Yes, it is. I've never been in
Ma'am,
trouble.
you're an adult.
Why are you pulling my?
Ma'am, you're under arrest. That's why. You're in custody.
I understand that.
All right, thank you. Quit being rude. Quit being rude, ma'am. Thank you. You're rude. Quit being rude.
So the judge orders a 12-week anger management course, and you'd think that would be easy enough, but she shows up one time, sees they're full that day, and instead of asking for another date or rescheduling, she just quits. No email, no phone call, no effort. She just decided, I tried it once, that's good enough. That's not how being an adult works. You can't just clock out of life when something doesn't go your way. And the worst part, every time the judge tries to speak, she keeps interrupting. It's like watching a toddler argue with a parent in the cereal aisle, talking over people, blaming everyone else, making excuses, and throwing attitude like it's a sport. And the final moment, when the judge basically told her to get out of his courtroom, that was the cherry on top. So here's my question. Do you think this was a wake-up call, or is she headed straight for jail next time? Let me know down in the comments. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.